Hello. Hey. Welcome back to my channel, Jaleesa, Reading Beyond the Book Cover, where we stay reading beyond the book's cover. My name is Jaleesa. I hope you are welcome if this is your first time, and welcome back if you are returning. I know it's been a while. I think maybe a week or two, I'm not really sure, but I just felt the need to come up here and just update you all on what I've been doing, because I have so many things going on other platforms. So if you don't follow me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, then of course you're missing out, because I don't always translate everything over to YouTube. So see this as like a little catch up, a little update. It shouldn't take too long. I don't know. Like, I'm looking at the list now. I'm like, girl, how long is it going to be that you're going to talk? But it shouldn't be too long, because we're going to have a little checklist. I think I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put a little checklist and check off each thing that we go through. So there's four items that we're going to go through that I want to update you on. We have current buddy reads that are happening, Bookmail, and on My Nightstand, which is like what I'm currently reading or rotating through, and recent reads and reviews. So before I go through that, though, I just want to let you all know that I only read one book in May. One. I started another book, but I didn't finish it. May was pretty difficult for me. I mean, yes, my birthday was in May. I made it another year, but at the same time, I had two deaths in the family, and I took those. Well, the first one actually very hard, and then immediately after that, another one happening. It was just kind of like, oh God, another one. I know people have to go because things come and go, but at the same time, it's never easy to say goodbye to a loved one. So yeah, May was a little bit difficult for me. I really wasn't in a reading mood. I think I watched more reality TV than anything else. So June, however, kicked off to a good start. I've read 3 books so far. I think one of them was a carryover, or 2 of them was a carryover from May, and then one of them was brand new. So we're gonna get into that. The first item on the list we're going to go through is the current buddy reads. So if you didn't know, I have branched off and done buddy reads, or more than one buddy read. So at first it was just the buddy reads with Reading Beyond the Book Cover on Facebook. Right now we're just reading the Lexington, Alabama series, and we're on book 2. I've already finished it. I'll let you know about that in my recent read section. But I already finished book 2, but that's what we're reading right now, reading and discussing it. And then pretty soon in July, we'll be reading book 3, and we'll be finished with the entire series. But in addition to that, I decided to also do buddy reads for some hashtags or readathons that are going on right now on Instagram. So we have the Read Caribbean, also Caribathon, that's also going on. So I have a readathon going on for one of the books that I've decided to read outside of the main book that everyone is reading. That reminds me, I should have added it to my list. But the book that I'm reading is called, I have it right here, Till the Well Runs Dry. So I'm reading this in addition to The God of Good Looks. So this book I've had for a while. It's pretty, it looks like it's not that thick, but it has very thin pages. So I have it sectioned off. I'm reading it at my own pace, because nobody's joined in on the buddy read. So I was like, why should I be in a rush to be reading on the actual schedule that I made? The schedule that I made is suggested, but my life right now is hectic, so I'm just trying to fit in the reading where I can. But if people do start participating, of course, I'll make sure that I catch up with them. And if I don't, that's fine too. I usually don't want to be spoiled when it comes to reading books, but I don't mind. Like, it doesn't really make it or break it, the book for me. So I'm going to read that for Caribathon and Read Caribbean. And I think there's another hashtag that's been going on all year, which is like 12 books by Caribbean authors. So it ticks a lot of boxes, but for the most part, I just want to make sure I'm reading outside of just the US. So that's why I also picked up this. And I'm also reading Pachinko. Love the writing. Love it. I'm reading that on my Kindle. And I think it's Dee Dee from Brown Girl Reading. She is hosting a read-along for it, so like a group reading activity for Pachinko, and that's why I picked it up. I've had it on my list of books to read for so long, so I'm finally going to pick it up. I think pretty soon she's going to be having the discussion. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to make sure that I read it in time. It's a pretty thick book, thick in the sense that I can tell even if I don't have it in physical form, because it's covering years and there's parts, so it's very expansive. But the what I have read of it, I really enjoy the writing, I like the storytelling, I like where it's going, and I like the way that it's making me feel. So I'm reading that for my current buddy reads. So Pachinko, I have a buddy read for that on, I think, Fable, that's the app. And then the Empty Vows, or the Lexington, Alabama series, that was on Facebook. And then Till the Well Runs Dry, which is this one, I am hosting a buddy read or a book club on bookclubs.com. So 3 different ways, 3 different books. If you want to jump in. I'll be there. I'll be there. So the next item on the list, now that we spoke about that, is Bookmail. So if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and I think I maybe posted about it on Tumblr, you already know how excited I am about the Bookmail that I just received. The physical ones as well as the ebooks that I received. I forgot to tell you about one of them because I felt like it was maybe a little bit too early to tell you all about it. Because I didn't expect it. This one I did expect. Like 2 of them I expected and 1 of them I didn't. So the recent book mail that I received is this hardback here of finished copy of Funeral Songs for Dying Girls by Sherry Demeline. I love this cover. Not only that, you know, the color, red, vibrant. I love this color. So it's beautiful naked and it's beautiful with its cover on. I received this in a book giveaway from Library Thing. I think I selected just only this book actually for April, if I remember correctly. And I was surprised when I got the email saying that I was going to receive it. And I think it was back in April. So it took a while for it to get here, but it did get here. I was actually really nervous and concerned that I wouldn't get it in time because we are in a process of moving from this apartment to another one. So it came just on time. So I was worried about nothing. It's in my hands now. It's not too thick. I think I could maybe finish this in a day or 2 if I really wanted to just sit down and do nothing else. I look forward to finishing it and seeing how it makes me feel. I've never read anything by Sherry Demeline before. I think this is young adult, and I know she had put out another book at the same time as well. Basically, I saw her name a lot this year. I think she had another book called Venco, this one, and maybe another one, but that's a lot to put out in a year. So I have this one in physical form, and then I'll put a picture up here of the other books. So I got a finished copy of The Devil Won't Keep Us Apart by Shane T. Clark. And I was reached out to by book tasters. Let me know if you all know about them. But this is my first time doing anything with book tasters. I've only done reading and reviewing for Book Sirens. One of the books that I have on the list today, I'll tell you about that. But I've never done anything with them. Oh, sorry. But I decided to try that one because I think it's a thriller or suspense or a mystery, one or other. Like, I want something with action, so that's why I chose that book. And the author gifted me a copy in exchange for an honest review, so look out for that pretty soon. I just received the copy today. It's an ebook. So I'm going to read it, review it, and you'll see it on my blog. And if not my blog, I may talk about it here. It depends. Most of the time, I've noticed I feel more comfortable writing my review than speaking about it, but who knows? I may surprise you one day and pop up here and talk about a book in its entirety. So I have that, and then I was like just working, minding my business at work, typing, and then I see my email, and I was like, oh, who is this? A publisher reached out to me and asked if I wanted, well, not even asked, they told me that they were giving me a copy, an e-arc of a book that's not coming out until January 2024. So, wow, I'm so excited. I feel so happy. I feel noticed. I feel like all the good adjectives. I don't know how to explain it. Like, just to think that there are so many people in this world that are doing the same thing that I am doing, which is talking about books, and they chose little old me to read and review a book by a very popular artist. Well, yes, artist, a very, very popular author. I'm thrilled. I received an e-arc of The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. Now, I don't know if y'all have been keeping up my blog or not, but I read What was it? It came out this year. I don't remember. I'll put it up here. Beautiful. The Villa. That's what it is. Beautiful cover. Great book. I enjoyed it. I still think about it to this day. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So I'm hoping that I have the same feeling with this book, The Heiress. She may be an auto by author if I really do enjoy The Heiress. So I'm excited to have that. The cover is beautiful as well. Let me know if you're excited about it or not, but I am. I didn't even know it was coming out. That's how like surprising this is. It'd be different if it was like an anticipated read. I guess I don't think that author is going to put out a book every single year, but hey, looks like they do. So I got chosen to read an e-arc. I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna make sure I read it in time and review it in time. Oh, so sorry. My husband, allergies bad. My allergies are bad too. My voice was shot to shingles earlier today. I couldn't even talk. My voice was gone. But where we live at, pollen bad, air not that good. It's expected. So I do apologize if you can hear him coughing or sneezing in the background. All right, next. So that's done with the book mail. Really excited. It always feels good to get book mail. This is the first time I've gotten a lot of book mail. A lot to me is more than one at a time. So I'm really excited. Next on our list, the next item is On My Nightstand. So I'm just going to quickly go through the books. I'm not going to really talk too much about them. I have several books on my nightstand right now. So this is what I'm like currently reading and rotating through. You know, I'm a mood reader. So I'm always dipping and diving into different worlds and different stories all the time. I don't know how I'm able to keep up with it. I guess my mind's just used to doing that. But I'm in between, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey y'all, at this point in the video or for this section or item, just go on ahead and head over to my blog post. I'll make sure I put the link down below. You can find it at readingbeyondthebookcover.com. I have a post with all of my current reads, also known as On My Nightstand. And I did not realize that I had planned to read 9 books. At the time that I made this, it was only 7. And then I went back and I was like, oh shoot, there's 9. So yes, I can count. We have Love, Honor, and Betray. That's the 3rd book in the Lexington, Alabama series by Mary Monroe. Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. To the Well Runs Dry by Lauren Francis Sharma. Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Tirado. And I'm reading that one for I think it's called the Horror Hose Support Group. Check them out. I like the group. So I picked it up for that. And then I'm reading Margaritas and Murder, She Wrote, book number 24 by Jessica Fletcher. I'm reading that for the Murder, She Wrote readathon that's happening. It's being hosted by, or co-hosted actually, by 3 booktubers. I'll leave their names down below. And the announcement videos for all of them if you want to participate as well. I think they already started. I think they started on the 7th. I'm not really sure. I'm going to do a little bit here and there. I don't plan on doing like the entire bingo. I just want to do some kind of participation. So I am listening to that audio book. And I do plan on watching a television show. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to read any more books in the Murder, She Wrote. The writing style is not for me. The story is not for me. I don't know if it's just this one or if it's all of them, but yeah, I'm going to do what I can as far as participate, but I do not plan on getting a bingo at all. I'm Murder, She Wrote out. Okay. That's where I'm landing. Then I'm also reading The Revenge List by Hannah Mary McKinnon. I loved her book, The Neighbor. Oh my God. It was so good. So much drama, so messy. I like messy characters. Messy is a mess. So hopefully this one was just as messy. And then Finna by Nino Cipri. And that is for the Queer Lit Readathon. Queer Lit Readathon. So I am going to be reading that. That's the group book. And I think it's a science fiction. I'm not really sure, but I have that on my list of books to read as well. I'm not trying to do no bingo, but I will try to read the book, like for the readathon book that's been chosen. Because June is jam-packed for me. I'm not even going into detail. You want to know, you can DM me, but right now, I don't even have the bandwidth to tell you all everything that's happening for me in June. It's just, this year, 2023, not my year. So last item on the list before I let you go is my recent reads and reviews. I'm sorry, if you hear me swallow as well, it's because it's difficult to swallow. My allergies, I can feel the pressure behind my eyes, and it's hard to swallow. I'm sorry, so sorry. And I'm apologizing because I don't like the sound of people swallowing. If it don't bother you, kudos to you. Recent reads and reviews. So, I already finished reading Empty Vows, which is book number 2 of the Lexington, Alabama series by Mary Monroe. I already told you about that. I also finished Darknesses by Lachelle Seville. It's a book that came out in May 2022, and I heard about it from several different people on BookTube, and I decided to pick it up. I was surprised that I was able to get a copy of it from Book Sirens, which is another, I guess, organization that's similar to Book Tasters. They either give you a finished copy or an arc of a book in exchange for an honest review. But this one has a deadline that I had to make sure that well, they all have deadlines, but this one had an actual deadline where I had to read it before June 13th. And I finished before then, but I had to read and review it. So I reviewed it. If you want to see the review, it's on my website. Will I pick up another book by Lachelle? Yes, most likely I will. So, next one, The Shadow Glass. The Shadow Glass by Josh Winning. I haven't written a review yet. I'm in the process of writing it. I finished that, I think, last week. Really good fantasy novel. It's very nostalgic. I enjoyed the book, but if I had to put down one specific gripe, is that now that I think about it, I don't think the characters were written in a way where I actually felt like, oh my God, I don't want you to die. Or, oh my God, I don't want you to get hurt. I didn't notice that until I think the last 15 or 20% of the book, when things were happening and people were getting hurt. I didn't shed a tear, and usually I shed a tear. So the book was good. I'm not going to take that away from it. It's just that I think that in order to make me give it a 5 stars or even a 4 stars, I have to have some kind of feeling when something happens to the character. So that's the short end of the long end. So the last book that I read recently is Shakti by S.J. Sindhu and illustrated by Nabi H. Ali. They are both 2 Tamil artists. I haven't read any books by someone from Sri Lanka, so that was cool. I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed the artwork. I like the story. I like the expressions. It was so good. It's a middle grade, so it goes quick. It don't take that long to get through it. And I had a good time. I would read more books by S.J. Sindhu, and I will look for other graphic novels that are illustrated by Nabi H. Ali. I actually already have, I think, S.J. Sindhu's book called Blue Gods or something of the sort. Something like that. I think it's Blue Gods. I have that on my list of books to read. So, yeah, I found a new author, new to me. And that is all. I don't think we have anything else. I usually would ask you something, or not usually, but I would ask you something, but I don't want to ask you just one thing. So I have to make this interesting. So I want you to choose a letter, Q, O, T, or D. Look down below in the description box and you will see which question aligns with the letter that you chose. So I want you in the comments, answer whichever question it is that matched the letter that you chose. See, English. I will never be perfect at it. And I am okay with that. But yeah, just to mix it up a little bit, do something a little bit different. So instead of a question of the day, it's questions of the day. And it's up to you and your choice as to whether or not you answer which question I have down below. So I hope it made sense. I'm going to go drink some more water because that's what you should be doing too. I am going to continue minding my business because that's what you should be doing as well. And I am going to continue reading Beyond the Books cover. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And I will see you when I see you. All right. Bye.